You can change the goalposts to supersize and grow your business. Actually, the more I think about it, I think you should and almost must change the goalposts when you want to supersize and grow your business. It's a relatively new idiom. It, of course, talks about and comes from sports. A lot of idioms come from sports. Why? Because about half the population is super duper interested in sports, probably more than that. Statistically, never looked into it because I'm not actually a super big sports fan. I like sports analogies though because a lot of people can relate to them. And idioms are often metaphors and stories and things that people can relate to. I think it's why they pop up in business so often. So change the goalpost is an idiom that comes from the British. It's a British idiom. It comes from football, which is soccer in Great Britain. And it came from the fact that when a ball gets into the goal area, it's harder to get it out of there unless you move the ball and get it somewhere else. And then in 1978, in the Washington Post, I believe, there was an article that quoted the CEO of American Airlines, the now gone American Airlines, that said they keep moving the goalpost, meaning the rules keep changing, the expectations keep changing. And a lot of times I think about rules as things that are outside of us. Laws and rules are things that are outside of our control. Yet, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we have a ton of control. We get to set the rules and set the expectations and create the businesses that we want and how we want to see them run in the world. We get to set a great example. I'm assuming you want to set a good example with your business and that you want to make the world a better place. I know I shouldn't assume that. I should never assume anything, but I do because that's my intent and purpose. Is the reason we want to grow and build businesses is to solve problems, help people out, and make the world a better place. So we can, even though things are outside of our control in a lot of areas and aspects of our life, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we can set the rules, set things up for them to feel good for us, and that makes it easier to supersize our businesses. I think of things like the COVID pandemic. So much of what was going on was outside of our individual control. Yet, as business owners, we had the opportunity, and a lot of people didn't see it as an opportunity, but it was an opportunity for many to change what they were doing, to do things differently. And there are businesses that have just exploded because of that event and the necessity of changing the rules, changing their expectations of themselves and of the world, and creating solutions to problems that had never necessarily existed before. I don't know about you, but the number of times that I had worn a face mask prior to the COVID pandemic were like a handful in my entire life. And then pretty soon everybody was wearing them every day. It's probably not the best example because that's an industry that peaked and now is probably going to trend down, despite the efforts of the CDC to try to get people to mask up again. So the science isn't there. And as a person that used to make face masks as one of my college summer jobs, literally for 3M, I know what they're effective for and what they are not. So COVID changed the rules. The rules to me are things that are changed outside of us, and moving the goalposts is up to us because we get to set where we want the goalposts to be. And for part of this year's Get Your Goals Annual Challenge, we are setting next year's goals. We just finished that, and we'll do a review of that tomorrow. But that's another example of moving the goalposts. To me, before I achieve a goal, I need to set the next goal so that I keep moving forward and build on the momentum of this year's goal as I go into next year. Actually, they did in 1974 move the football goalpost, and this is American football. The NFL moved the goalposts, and that caused a huge ripple effect through the game. Just by moving the goalposts from the end line, or from the goal line to the end line, made a huge difference in the game. And I think it's a good thing to remember and a good example to look at in terms of changing the goal just a little bit can change everything for us. Changing how we see things, what things mean to us, our perspective can mean the world when it comes to building or growing, supersizing our business, and the ease at which we do it. And the cool thing about this, being able to change the goalposts, knowing that we have more personal control and business control than a lot of other people that are just living other people's dreams and goals and rules and things like that. That's how I always felt about my jobs. When I'm in a job, I am building someone else's business. When I'm in my own business, I'm building the business that I want to see in the world. Love to know your perspective on this particular idiom. Do you feel like a lot of times the goalposts get moved on you and you're running to catch up? Or are you proactively setting your own goalposts and creating the life and the business that you want? Love to hear your stories. Share in the comments below. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it and use it to build and grow and supersize your business? Have a fantastic day.